the full, true story of the Great Zimbabwe Ruins, based on extensive archaeological and historical research, a monument of African ingenuity. The Great Zimbabwe Ruins are the remains of a majestic stone city and the capital of a vast empire that thrived in southern Africa. For centuries, its origins were wrongly attributed to foreigners by colonial regimes, but we now know it is a testament to the architectural skill, economic power, and sophisticated society of the Shona people. The builders of Great Zimbabwe were the ancestors of the Shona people, a Bantu-speaking population that had been settled in the region for millennia. The word Zimbabwe itself is derived from the Shona term Zimba Zamabwe, which means houses of stone, or more poetically, venerated houses. The Shona civilization was not isolated. It was part of a vast network of trade that stretched across the Indian Ocean. Their society was highly structured, with a powerful king, the Mwene Mutapa, presiding over a hierarchy of chiefs, priests, craftspeople, and farmers. The development of Great Zimbabwe was not an overnight event, but a process of growth and consolidation over centuries. The timeline is generally broken into three main periods. Early growth, c. 900–1100 AD. The site was first occupied by a Shona community, likely drawn by its ideal location. Fertile land, good rainfall, and plentiful grazing for cattle. The early structures were made of wood and daga, clay mud, a building style still used in the region today. Golden Age, c. 1200–1450 AD. This is the period of major stone construction and the city's peak power. The population grew to an estimated 10,000 to 20,000 inhabitants. It was during this time that the iconic structures, the Great Enclosure, the Hill Complex, and the Valley Complex, were built and refined. Decline and abandonment, c. 1450 AD onward. By the mid-15th century, the city was gradually abandoned. The reasons are believed to be a combination of overpopulation. The land and resources around the city may have been exhausted. Drought. A prolonged period of drought would have strained water supplies and agriculture. Political shift. The center of power and trade shifted northwards to new Shona states like Mutapa and Kami. It was not a violent end, but a slow, strategic migration. The people did not vanish. They moved and established new powerful states, maintaining their cultural and political traditions. Great Zimbabwe was far more than just a large village. It was the heart of a mighty empire. One a political and royal capital, it was the seat of the king who ruled from the hill complex Zimbabwe. This area was a spiritual and administrative center, likely reserved for royalty and religious ceremonies, to an economic powerhouse. This was the primary source of its wealth. Great Zimbabwe sat at the center of a massive gold trade network. Gold was mined from hundreds of sites across the Zimbabwean plateau. It was traded with merchant Swahili Arabs on the coast at ports like Sofala, in modern-day Mozambique. In exchange, the city acquired luxury goods, Chinese Celadon porcelain, Persian faience, Arab glass, and Indian beads, all of which have been found by archaeologists at the site. For a religious and ceremonial center, the site held deep spiritual significance. The hill complex contains ritual enclosures and a place where communication with the ancestral spirit Mwari, the supreme god, was conducted. The famous soapstone bird sculptures found on site are thought to represent tribal totems or messengers to the spirit world. The ruins are famous for their dry stone walling built without any mortar. The technique: stones were carefully quarried and shaped to fit tightly together. The walls are incredibly stable, with their sheer weight holding them in place for centuries. The walls. The most impressive is the massive outer wall of the Great Enclosure, which is up to 11 meters, 36 ft high, and 250 meters, 820 ft long. It is the largest ancient structure in sub-Saharan Africa, after the Egyptian pyramids. The conical tower. Inside the Great Enclosure stands a mysterious solid tower, 5.5 meters, 18 ft in diameter, and 9 meters, 30 ft high. Its purpose is unknown, but is speculated to be a symbolic granary representing prosperity and wealth, or a phallic symbol related to fertility rituals.